You decide how you want to serve. And if you want to serve good, you're going to win quicker and you save energy.
Madrid ticket prices don't just spike for anyone. Journeymen don't move the secondary market. Wildcards don't sell out stadium rows before their first ball lands. Qualifiers grinding through the Caja Magica draw don't generate numbers that make analysts do a double take. Right now, today, April 22nd, 2026, the secondary market around the Madrid Open is doing something nobody can fully explain. Seats on the Arantxa Sanchez Stadium are moving at numbers that don't make sense for a first-round match. The name attached to that match is Alex Eala. Sabalenka is in this tournament, Rybakina is in this tournament, Swiatek is in this tournament, Eala is the one causing the spike. A 20-year-old from the Philippines, ranked number 44, who just got knocked out in the first round of Stuttgart 2 weeks ago. And somehow her main draw entry confirmation alone sent the Madrid market sideways.
Nice to see the welcome that I've had. There's a huge Filipino community here, so I'm so excited they've come out. And
Boris Becker, 6 Grand Slams, a career built on reading this game at its highest level, already went on record about this girl. One word. A man who never runs out of things to say chose one word. That shock was registered before Madrid even started. Subscribe right now because what we're about to unpack genuinely changes how you read this sport. The full answer is stranger than you expect. Let's start with the number that broke the internet quietly. Stuttgart. 1 week before Madrid, Alex Eala gets added to the main draw after 2 withdrawals. Emma Navarro and Qin Wen-jung both pull out. She enters through the back door, essentially. Secondary market resale tickets for her match session hit figures that had nothing to do with face value. A first-round slot at the Porsche Arena, a tournament that had Rybakina, Goff, and Swiatek on the entry list, was being resold at prices that belonged to a Grand Slam semi-final weekend. She lost to Leylah Fernandez in straight sets. It didn't matter, the tickets had already moved. The damage, or the magic depending on your perspective, was already done before she hit a single return winner. That is the phenomenon landing in Madrid right now. Here is what makes it genuinely hard to process. Eala's clay record coming into this tournament is not the resume of a player who should be shifting secondary market numbers. 7 tournaments on clay since 2024 without making it past the second round. 3 wins from 10 matches on the surface. A 39.1% career win rate on red dirt.
And not for the first time, almost beaten by the lack of pace on serve. So, victory.
She lost to Ostapenko in Linz, then lost to Fernandez in Stuttgart. Back-to-back exits before the draw even got interesting. The rankings reflect the recent slide. She peaked at world number 29 on March 16, 2026. That was her career high, the moment she became the highest-ranked Filipino in WTA Tour history and the first from her country to crack the top 30. Since then, she's dropped back to number 44 heading into Madrid, unable to defend the points she accumulated during last year's Miami run. The math is straightforward. The emotional reality of watching those numbers fall is something her fan base is taking personally. And her fan base is the entire conversation. This is the part that Boris Becker registered before almost everyone else in the tennis establishment did. Back in April 2025, when Eala tore through Miami as a wild card, beating Madison Keys, Jelena Ostapenko, and then world number 2 Iga Swiatek to reach the WTA 1000 semifinal, Rafael Nadal posted publicly. He called it incredible. He said he was extremely proud.
The most important players in my, if not the most important player in my tennis career.
Becker saw that post and responded with a single word. Word. No analysis, no breakdown, just immediate, unambiguous acknowledgement from a 6-time Grand Slam champion that something genuinely different was happening. That shock expressed in one word.
Look, I think the wardens need to be more protected. There need to be more of them. Prison life is very difficult for the wardens and the prisoners.
Was actually the most honest reaction anyone in tennis gave in that entire moment. Because what Becker understood, what the ticket market in Stuttgart understood, and what the Madrid secondary market is understanding right now, is that Eala doesn't just bring fans, she brings a movement. The Filipino diaspora is one of the largest in the world, spread across Europe, the Middle East, North America, and Southeast Asia. When Eala plays in Dubai, the Aviation Club Tennis Center fills with supporters who flew in from neighboring countries. When she played at Indian Wells in March 2026, a Filipino-American fan told Front Office Sports it was the most Filipinos he had ever seen at that tournament. Her practice session crowds at Indian Wells were drawing comparisons to Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. Tournament director Philippe Doré told the same outlet, "We love every minute of it, we benefit from it." Madrid is about to find out exactly what that means. Her draw here is not gentle. She opens against a qualifier on the Arantxa Sanchez Stadium, and today, April 22nd, that match is scheduled. Get past the qualifier and the reward is 19th seed Elise Mertens in round 2, a player who beat Eala 7-5, 6-0 the last time they met at the 2023 Madrid Open in Tunisia. Go further and the bracket presents 12th seed Ekaterina Alexandrova or former world number 1 Karolina Pliskova. The 4th round brings Amanda Anisimova. The quarterfinals bring Elena Rybakina, the 2nd seed. The semifinals bring Coco Gauff. A final, if Eala were to reach one, would almost certainly mean Aryna Sabalenka, the defending champion who has won this title 3 times. She is on the wrong side of the draw for an unseeded player carrying a losing streak on clay. But here's the thing about the Eala effect, that the ticket market clearly understands better than the bracket does. This is not purely a story about tennis performance. It stopped being only that sometime around her Miami semi-final run last year. She is now a cultural event. She showed up to the Laureus World Sports Awards in Madrid just 2 nights ago, wearing cream Filipiniana, posted a selfie with Djokovic and Olympic gold medalist Eileen Gu, and captioned it, "Sandwiched between greatness." That image went everywhere before she'd struck a single ball in Spain. The ticket market moved after the draw, not after the Laureus red carpet moment, but that image set the temperature. It told the story of a player who exists at the intersection of sport and identity in a way that almost no current WTA player does at her age. Andy Roddick said it plainly during the Indian Wells period. This is the type of story you cheer for because it's great for tennis.
Absolutely, and that there's a certain stepladder that you have to go through before you get to elite sport. So it starts really in high school.
Novak Djokovic called the crowd attention. She generates a good problem to have.
Alex is someone I get along very well with on and off the court. Again, another physical battle, but obviously against an opponent that was playing on a high level. So I'm glad to overcome it.
These are not throwaway quotes from players trying to be diplomatic. These are people who have seen generational stars arrive and recognizing the specific texture of what Eala brings, which is not just talent, but a constituency. Here is the trimmed version. Her 2026 season tells the full story of the range she's already operating in. She began the year in Auckland, reaching the semifinals. She made her Australian Open debut and got bounced in the first round, on a court too small for the crowd that came to watch her, with fans forced to stand. She went to Dubai and sold out every match session in a quarterfinal run that included a win over world number 10 Jasmine Paolini before losing to Gauff. She reached the last 16 at Indian Wells. She went deep in Miami again. Then clay arrived and the wheels came off. Linz, Stuttgart, 2 losses. Real questions about whether the surface is a ceiling she hasn't cracked yet. Madrid is the last major clay warm-up before Rome, and Rome leads directly into Roland Garros on May 18th. She is only defending 35 points from last year's second-round exit here, so the ranking pressure is minimal. What matters is momentum. Whether she can demonstrate to herself and everyone watching that the clay problem is fixable before the French Open arrives. That question is what makes today's first-round match more loaded than any unseeded versus qualifier slot should be. Because expectations on Eala in 2026 no longer scale to her seeding. They scale to the story the world has decided she's living, and that story carries a weight no draw position can measure. Boris Becker registered that weight with one word in 2025. The Madrid ticket market is expressing the same recognition through price surges in 2026. The genuine shock isn't that the prices spiked.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be back. Can't wait to be out on court and I hope to see you there.
It's how fast it happened. Before a single match, before anyone knew who the qualifier across the net would even be. The market priced in the crowd, the noise, the flags, the cultural moment before the tennis started. That level of star power belongs to a very short list. Federer had it, Nadal owned it on clay completely. Serena had it everywhere. In 2026, on a secondary court at a WTA 1000 event, a 20-year-old from Manila is generating a version of it. Whether her game catches up to her gravity on this surface is the real drama over the next 2 weeks. The bracket is brutal, the clay record is concerning, the pressure is real. The tickets are already sold. If you've made it this far, you already know this channel covers tennis from angles nobody else takes. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The Roland Garros build-up gets a lot more interesting from here, and you don't want to be catching up when it does.